Hi guys, it's Ashley Valera, also known as Valerie, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about getting your goals and personal projects done. And I want to talk about this because lately, self-reflecting kind of what I need to get done to have a better standing once I graduate, I realize I really need to get a lot done. I've been wanting to complete more personal projects, ones that I can be able to use in my portfolio. I have also been wanting to do things that aren't art related, such as promoting myself more on social media, making sure I post more, and things like this YouTube channel where I just finally start to update on it. Of course, things such as life getting in the way or me constantly making excuses of me not having the time and oh, I'll get to it tomorrow have constantly made me push these goals off until I have quote unquote time to do it. But the more and more that I push it off, the more and more I realize I just need to get it done. And in the great words of Shia LaBeouf, I realized I need to just do it. For example, for my personal projects, I pretty much made a list of all the things I would like to illustrate at this moment, and one of them was to complete a full finished comic. I decided on this one because for a while now I've had a particular idea for a short comic, but have long since put it off because I wanted the story to be right. I didn't know whether I wanted how long I wanted it to be, whether how I should just overall write it. That there was a lot of me just being like, oh, I'm not ready to actually start the comic. But now setting my goal as to finish off this comic, I've already finished writing at least the gist of the story for the comic itself. I'm starting now to thumbnail the pages, and I'm able to finally kind of get my butt in gear in working on it because so many times I've, listened to other podcasts or other YouTubers of other artists and trying to see how they get their project started. And ultimately, they come to the same thing of just getting it started. I could sit here making as many excuses as I possibly could of whether my art skills aren't good enough to start a comic, or I need to practice on anatomy or something of the other more often. I could just keep going, but ultimately I won't get better at it until I actually start doing it. Especially like take this YouTube channel for example. I am incredibly nervous about actually speaking and using my voice in these videos. I can't tell you how nervous it makes me, but I won't get over that fear until I actually do it and do it more than once. It's not just a one-time thing where I'll suddenly be over my fear of doing it. It takes time and a couple of tries to finally get over that anxiety of it. Same thing goes with actually recording for these videos. I spent the last 2 weeks recording different things, but they weren't just working out right. I was doing it in my sketchbook again, but the quality was off. The color of it was just extremely off. I didn't really want to use any of that footage, and I thought, oh, I'll probably have to post this video next week, but stopped myself, was like, no. And so before I left for school that day, I just sat down for 2 hours and drew a portrait for this video. Ultimately, my point is with this is if you have an aspiring project that you've been wanting to get done forever but are afraid to start, just do it. Just try it out, sketch it, write it, whatever it is that you want to work on. If you want to start a YouTube channel, start recording anything that you do. Practice speaking what you're going to say multiple times. The best thing about it is that you don't necessarily have to show anyone it if you don't like the way it came out the first time. All these beginner projects that you do don't necessarily have to be shared. They're all for your own work. Of course, if you want to share it with someone so that you can get an opinion, you can share it with a friend, another artist that you always speak to, maybe a family member, maybe so you can just have their opinion. But you don't have to worry about it being perfect the first time. And if you struggle with finding time to do any of this, just do a little bit of it every day. Every day, whether that's to sketch at least 20 minutes, 10 minutes. You know, if you really want to finish something, if you really want to get it done, then just make the time for it and do it as often as you can until it is done. I do want to also stress not to stress yourself out too much. You don't want to make it so that you become unhealthy from it. You don't want to worry about it too much where it becomes more of a burden than a fun thing to do. Again, remember, no one has to know about it. If you need to, keep a sketchbook or paper or folder of whatever it is you're doing away from your normal sketchbook, so you don't have to constantly show it if your sketchbook's like constantly being looked at, things like that. You can always try to find some way to keep it more private and thus take off some of the fear of the project being seen and people judging it if that's something you have a problem with, like I do. Like, I can't record these videos in front of people. I can't do this audio, so I wait for a time when I have a private moment to actually record. So yeah, just take it day by day. Try your hardest to get it done. If you really, really are striving for it, you really want it, you will find a way to do it. I assure you. It's taken me a very long time to finally get it into my head that I just need to get these things done, but I'm so glad that I am, because now I am testing myself to do more things. I'm doing new things that I wouldn't normally do, like this YouTube channel, like a comic, because I have not done one before. And it's a kind of really fun self-exploration, I guess, especially with things you're not normally used to. Okay, so that's all I can think to say about this topic without actually rambling about pretty much the same thing over and over. It's funny because I wrote an entire script for this, but at least I got my point across in some things, I hope. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you have any comments or questions or even suggestions on future video topics that I can talk about, please leave a comment below or email me. If you really like this video and hope to see more in the future, please subscribe and like to my channel and this video. Thanks so much for listening again, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Bye!